Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We pretty much just got started, so let's keep trucking along with Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1. Well, 2023 annual. I really miss when Marvel used to just, keep a cumulative count of the annuals. But yeah. So, recently we saw the Hallows Eve miniseries come to its conclusion. When Dark Web came to its end, Janine Gobby, Ben Riley's girlfriend, was still at large with the satchel of masks that she'd been given by Madeline Pryor. And Ben Riley was imprisoned in limbo. So, the issue begins. Spider-Man fights a demon in New York, chasing the demon all the way to the Limbo Embassy. Though it was Janine attempting to rescue Ben. She had a plan involving both of them using her masks. But, meanwhile, Madeline is dealing with the joys of Earth bureaucracy. But Spider-Man ends up being tossed into her office by a couple of demons who are actually who they appear to be. He tries to tell Madeline what's going on, or what he knows about what's going on. And Madeline casts a spell that says all those who do not belong be gone, and put everything and everyone in their place. This causes this halts Ben's escape attempt, removing his mask from him, and also ejects Janine from the embassy, with Spider-Man landing on top of her. They argue. Peter tries to be sympathetic towards her, but she's not having it. Madeline states that Ben will not be released until he finishes his sentence. And that states that Janine should count her blessings because she's not locked up in there too. Though she says that she'll gladly be in hell as long as her and Ben can be together. Though Madeline points out limbo is not hell. She wishes people would understand the difference. She's not exactly happy that Ben and Janine have both violated her trusts and Limbo's sovereign land. And tells her and Peter to not come to the embassy again. Peter tries to apologize, but Jane doesn't want him to speak to her again either. As she disappears wearing a ghost mask, Peter simply says that she's sorry to both her and Ben. We got a backup story as well, spinning out of recent events. So last year's Hellfire Gala, one of the celebrity spokespeople was, in fact, Mary Jane Watson, with testimonies about how the Krakoan medicines had affected her elderly aunt. The aunt was a friend of Aunt May, of Peter's Aunt May, and was partially responsible for setting them up in the first place. Yeah, it's her birthday, and the kill switch gets activated, and she attacks everyone there. Apparently, there have been rumors of people taking the Krakoan medicines acting out violently. MJ thought it was impossible, but now she doesn't know what to believe. Spider-Man manages to subdue uh, her, and Peter, MJ, and Paul take MJ's aunt to the Ravencroft Institute. They've been getting an influx of new patients of the same story. Taking water classes one second, going on a killing spree the next. MJ asks how many of them are on the Krakoan drugs, but they can't say. Paul wonders if maybe, basically if, this was something the mutants set up, but Peter says, no way. However, but he does admit they probably have some information about the whole thing. And so Peter's going to track down Wolverine, get some answers. And MJ makes a point that one of her aunts can be safe at Ravencroft, and, well, Peter kind of says that he doesn't love the place, but he doesn't know anywhere else that stands a chance of helping her. Basically making it the best worst option. But, Paul and MJ have been staying with Aunt Anna since recently after their kids disappeared from thanks to Raymond being defeated. Too many bad memories at home. That is where the issue ends. Interesting. I'm glad that I'm glad that Fall of X is having additional fallout in the rest of the Marvel books. It's the kind of story that really feels like it needs to have fallout. So, moving on though to our next book, we've got Death of the Venom-Verse, Part 1. So, for the last few months, so first off, Carnage has been traveling the multiverse, and the cosmos, and then the multiverse, to become more. He has forsaken a host, and is now simply on his own. But he's also come up with a plan. First, at least at the moment, is simply kill all the Venoms. We've seen him pop up in Extreme Venom-Verse, killing some of the newly introduced Venom variants. And we've also seen that the Anne Weying version of Agent Venom has been putting together a strike team of Venom variants to defend, to stop Carnage. And so, we begin on another Earth with basically the point where Cletus Kasady became Carnage. The Venom symbiote returns for Eddie Brock, but then God Carnage slips in and kills Venom. And Weying is tracking Carnage, but too late to save Venomized Rocket Raccoon. Then later Venomized Wolverine. The Venomized Ant-Man. And now her and Virus, both of Earth 1051, that go to save a Venom variant that is Mania, Flash Thompson's former student. But Carnage just manages to kill Mania and take her mystical abilities in an effort to stop him, and calls in reinforcements in the form of Agent Spider-Man, Agent Deadpool, and Agent Hawkeye. Symbiote bonded versions of the three characters. Yeah, it doesn't. They don't really manage to do much against Carnage before Carnage kills Mania. Anne is not happy. Oh, only Hawkeye of the three reinforcements survived. They tell Flash what happened. Flash isn't happy about not being brought in to help save Mania, but it's pointed out that it's not his Andy, so but he still doesn't want to be benched. On yet another Earth, Carnage, as he has to purge weaknesses, sound, fire. When he's when lightning bolt attacks, lightning might actually be a good addition to his collection, though. Turns out that this particular Earth he's ended up on is home to the Symbiote 6, and he just met and killed Electro. So not Symbiote 5, but we've got a Kraven, Doc Ock, Vulture, Rhino, and presumably Green Goblin. That is where the issue ends. So, interesting start to things. I keep saying I'm a fan of multiverse stories, so this is kind of right up my alley. Yeah, interesting stuff. I love seeing the variants, honestly. And that's what makes these Spider-Verse, Venom-Verse, and so forth most interesting. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got What If Dark Venom. So, way back after the first Secret Wars, Spider-Man came back with a black costume. Noticed some odd things about it after running around in it for a while. Took it to the Fantastic Four to study. Mr. Fantastic discovered, oh, it's actually alive, and so he removed it. What happened next in R606 is that it stayed there in stasis, and then eventually got free. Tried to once again bond with Peter, but Peter got rid of it at a church belfry where it bonded with Eddie Brock, and thus Venom was born. As you may be able to tell, this Earth has went a little bit differently. The Thing discovers the symbiote in Reed's lab in stasis, and ends up releasing it. It promptly bonds with Ben and is actually able to make Ben appear human. And so Ben leaves the FF since apparently, you know, Reed can't. Reed is trying to say, hey, you know, it's not this. This isn't a good thing, okay? You know, yeah, it can make you look human. That, but that's great. But there are other downsides. But short-sightedness. Lizard realizes that something feels different, and runs into Ben on the street. When Ben basically becomes Venom, he takes on his Rocky appearance again, but with a red and black singlet with the Venom emblem on it. But Lizard wants to help. What figures that the symbiote can help people. Talks about it, and so Lizard removes the symbiote. And bonds with it himself, attacking the Baxter building. While Ben's trying to get out of the where he's being out of Scorpion or Lizard's lair, Lizard attacks the Baxter building, kills Reed, kills Sue, killing Reed in front of Ben, no less, and so Ben bum rushes the Lizard, beating him as the two of them fall to the ground. As they fall, the symbiote transfers from the Lizard to the Thing, and upon their landing, Ben squishes the Lizard's head. And that is where the issue ends. Interesting take. Interesting take. Tragic. I mean, what if stories are usually just so good? I mean, just the possibilities. Plus, it can also lead to some interesting potential worlds to explore in other in future comics. But anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Strange Academy Miles Morales. This is the first of 3 one-shots focusing on the summer vacations of some of these Strange Academy kids. But it so turns out that 2 of the Strange Academy kids have a podcast wherein they have decoded ancient medieval manuscripts and released them to the public. And one of the teachers asked about this, and well, she's actually there as a fangirl. She's a bit of a hacker herself. But they finish off the translation, which leads, apparently the manuscript itself is written by Loki, and it doesn't hold any, hidden knowledges. But when they finish with translating it, Thor, Mjolnir, and none of Thor's clothes except for his helmet are summoned forth, along with a neon sign saying "I like farts," pointing at Thor's butt. Um, However, Zelma, particular teacher, Zelma Stanton, the teacher in question, has also come to ask some of the students, these particular students, if they'd like to represent Strange Academy at the Multiversal Math Bowl. But they need a fifth. So, um, there's they recruit a fall teen member of a fall teen student. Later, they go to Brooklyn Visions Academy, where the Multiversal Math will be held. A Brooklyn Vision student named Miles Morales gives gives the opening address before the keynote by Dr. Erasmus Equation Dawnbright, a fairy who basically says that magic, there's no such thing as magic, it's just math that we haven't figured out yet. And his work on enchantomatics has definitely proven that to be true. It's why the Fairy Council ripped off his wings and banished him from Otherworld. They want saying that the Fairy Council wants the people using magic the old dangerous way, but he prefers the safer and clinical way. But Fairy General attacks. The students, Strange Academy students, deal with the fairies as well as Miss Stanton. But apparently they're all an illusion. Spider-Man shows up, or a projection at least. Miles in this case. He's still on patrol. The illusions are dispelled. And but the multiversal math will go on. Miss Stanton opts to go to Strange Academy for reinforcements. And the math bowl goes on, and well, for the first time ever, the Earth teams took first and second overall, plus a bunch of individual medals. The good professor wishes to speak to Professor Dawnbright wishes to speak to some of the students, explaining that he made the projections, and also, well, Miss Stanton is trapped in a book, and so three of the students, Toth, not Toth. But three of the students are also banished into the book, while the remaining two, Shaylee and Doyle, are recruited to help Professor Dawnbright with a project that could very well save the multiverse. However, the book opens up and a projection comes to Spider-Man asking for help. That is where the issue ends. This is a series of one-shots. There will be three. The next one is next month's Strange Academy Moon Knight. If you think I'm not picking that up, you haven't been paying attention to this channel, have you? Moving on, though, to our last book moment, we have Doctor Strange #6, which has a quick interlude with the upcoming Gods book. So, recently, an assassin has been killing various interdimensional warlords, namely those who have taken residing on Earth after the events of Death of Doctor Strange, peacefully residing on Earth. It's kind of saying, okay, yeah, this area is our kingdom. This area is my kingdom now. At the wedding of Umar and I don't know the warlord. I know it's Agamon. Well, the assassin is revealed to be General Strange. Early on in well, many years ago, Doctor Strange was fought a war for the Vishanti against the Trinity of Ashes. With the Vishanti telling him that they would that when the war was done, they would send him back to exactly the point they took him from. But Doctor Strange consistently has to remind himself he's a doctor. And then there are points where the issue is generally narrated as a journal of his 5,000 years of wartime. He briefly runs into Wynn from during the 3-year march. He briefly runs into Wynn from Gods, but and Strange asks if the powers that be might help, but nope, they won't. The wounded have started by year 100. The wounded have begun being treated with, basically by turning any prisoners they take into donors. Many of the soldiers closest to Strange die. The Trinity of Ashes attacks this one specific location, and so, well, that battle's for naught. Strange himself is betrayed by one of his closest lieutenants, who by the point that he betrays Strange, it's just like, the Vishanti, the Trinity of Ashes, what's the difference? However, after 5,000 years, the Trinity of Ashes sues for peace, because they fear General Strange. The Vishanti imprison General Strange, but also separate him from Doctor Strange, returning Doctor to when he was taken, and giving him a crystal that contains the General. It is intrinsically linked to Strange's life force. The only way that such a binding could be engineered. And that is where the issue ends. And it should be kept in mind, Doctor Strange did die recently. Very interesting. Anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Big shout out to Patreon patron Xander Lee. Thank you so much for your support. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.